Hello. Hi there. Welcome to Guiding Voice podcast series, The Guiding Voice for a Better Future. This podcast is to help professional students, IT employees, and entrepreneurs to shape their careers. Dear listeners, in every episode, we interact with industry experts or academicians or coaches to drive some insightful conversations that will help our audience learn great things. And also, we share an interesting trivia or a fun fact about IT world towards the end. Thank you for tuning in. This is Naveen and I'm with my co-host Sudhakar. So folks, today we are going to discuss a very unique topic which is very essential for someone to grow in their corporate career. And the topic is how to differentiate yourself and stand out from the crowd. To discuss this important topic, we are pleased to welcome Phani to our show today.
Phani Mantravadi is a technology and product leader with over 20 years of technology and product experience. He has extensively involved in ideation, design, and implementing systems over a large scale across retail, e-commerce, and digital businesses. Phani keeps both the customer and technology at heart, loves to innovate new areas, explores possibilities for automation, and develop solutions around IoT and data. An author, mentor, speaker, industry expert, and board member for MREC institutions. He has delivered various guest sessions in the space of technology, leadership, and engineering. Phani is now with us here to share his insights through our podcast series. Phani, welcome to our show. Let us get started.
Thank you, Naveen and Sudhakar. And thank you again for giving me this unique opportunity to be here with you and share my experiences and a piece of advice to all the youngsters who are looking up to the world and are continuously thriving towards success.
That would be great, Phani. Let's talk about your career journey. How did it all start?
That's an interesting question. It started, when I was in graduation and my post-graduation. I was kind of looking forward and getting into the field of information technology. Started off working on mainframes in Oracle and loads of information technology systems. As a postgraduate, it was initially trying to connect the world, the technology space to the theory that you have learned in the college and the university is completely different. And over the time, over a decade and over two, I have seen various information technology spaces. I've seen various sectors around working with healthcare, with e-commerce and retail. One thing which I have clearly noticed and identified is the more to go is the more to come. And you will have to be prepared and you will have to keep yourself different from the crowd. Otherwise, it's different and difficult. There are loads of opportunities. At the same time, people are looking up to you for a unique challenge, and you selecting to what you are up to and how you can uniquely change and make a difference is always a challenge, and it's a journey. That's how it started. And today, as I stand, I continuously looking for opportunities on how I can improvise on what I'm doing, how can I make good customer impact in everything that we do, as well as helping all these youngsters through my guest sessions and talks and ensuring that they understand the differential line on how they need to separate out what they have learned in the university versus what is expected out of them when they jump into their career.
That sounds amazing. Leaving your mark in whichever place you stand is something that traditionally people have been doing forever. Now, what are the advantages of being a differentiator, or like you said, being the person who is separate from the crowd?
Well, there is no one single answer for this, but I would try to keep it a little more detailed. What is differentiation? Typically, it's a characteristic in you. It's about a trait that you carry along which separates you from your key competitors, right? Even if I were to compare you as an investment for your own self versus the businesses, they are anything different. They are nothing different. You will have to choose. You will have to be true on what you are. You will have to demonstrate your traits. More specifically, that one trait which will differentiate you from others. And how do you choose that sort of a trait? It's a journey, and I'm sure you will have to spend some good amount of time while you're working on a technology and while you're specializing in a particular area. You will uncover it on your own. and you will have to invest time to build on that particular trait, be it domain, be it technology, be it skill, and continuously nurture it to bring it to a situation where you can fully make an advantage of it and blow up in your career. And that is why differentiation is very important. If you don't differentiate yourself, you are out of the line, you are out of the game. I typically compare this, if you compare yourself and how the businesses are looking at for people who are more specialized than generalized. Generalization is like, you're trying to follow somebody who is doing it over for years with no innovation space. And there is more and more generalization coming into picture with a changing world. But what is you're trying to build is an investment on yourself. We're trying to specialize on what you have learned, what experience you have built. And this is going to keep you out of the crowd. And it's up to you on how you decide on where should I be specializing and how can I show my uniqueness within the crowd. And that is different for different roles. A business analyst will have a domain specialization. If you're a technologist, you will have a technology specialization. Again, you will have to demark whether I'm a good developer, I'm a good front-end engineer, I'm a good cloud specialist. So you will have to choose. And I always carry a rule which is specific to what I call it as a 50 rule, or you can call it as a 50 over rule. Now, a 50 over rule is your 50% of your career, whatever you do, will have to show your uniqueness. And whatever the role you are carrying out, you will have to go in depth and look at how you are specializing in it and what value is it giving. The remaining 50 of your effort, or the remaining 50% of your effort, would typically be going around the space to learn new things, to experiment new areas, to be aware of what's going on. However, you cannot go all over the place and you cannot be pursuing things which are not demarking you out of the crowd. So this strong 50 is what I call it as a tagline, is something that you should always look at. Make sure that efforts that you are spending are in an area where they are keeping you aside of the crowd and they're trying to help you jump up on your career.
So true, Funny. In the industry that we are in, we generally refer this as USP, that is unique selling point, be it on the advancements that we provide from the solution standpoint, product standpoint, or services.
And Funny, I really like the concept of the strong 50 over rule, and thanks for this wonderful tip. So now slightly talking and linking the success with the differentiation. How success is linked to the differentiation?
Well, Naveen, if I were to say it in a few lines for the youngsters, don't look at success. Success is not something that you will reap overnight. You'll have to really spend some good effort to be able to look at success. Always look at how am I building this differentiation in my own self. I would take an example of a full stack developer. If you are more into that, a full stack developer at times may not be able to give that strong UI UX experience to the customer. So while you are building a skill as a full stack, you can do both backend, you can do front end. You're not giving an advantage of customer experience. You, at the end of the day, you would not be loving the job when you can't make this customer experience, because the number of areas that you have before you to achieve are increasing. And I have seen the industry moving away now from full stack developers to kind of specialized skills, looking at specialists who are more of US experts or UI experts or a strong backend or an integration developer. So I'm just looking at this entire thing. I would say if you build your own skill in differentiation, be it by your own way, your own processes, or your soft skills, are trying to understand the customer, what they want, and engineering deeper into that area, that will eventually take you and give you the success you are looking at. So while it's not going to be an immediate result, success will follow, and this success, what I call it as success, which will be sustaining for your future growth.
So on the differentiation part, now that we are in the unprecedented times where the pandemic is in vogue, how can someone build the skill of being a differentiator and stand out from the crowd?
unprecedented times. We have seen it over a year. None of us have expected that this is ever yet to happen. Now, what have customers or what have businesses done differently? They've stood to their bottom line of their nature of business. People who have been very in the nascent state of bringing in digital experiences, they try to change that experience and now take it more to the end users, investing more into that space. Innovation then came across. You see a lot of organizations have now gone more or less collaboration over the digital wire, as opposed to how things have been in the past. The unprecedented times would never give you space to prepare. Now that's what we call it unprecedented times. Now likewise, if you think it about yourself as an individual, how am I going to make my own journey even more stronger for such unprecedented times? And I will take you a few examples. If you believe that you are trying to go over in the place of technology, try to understand which of those areas in the technology, be it technology engineering or be it cloud, be it data, pick up specializations and you give your strong 50 effort on that specialization. Now, while it's not going to give you an immediate benefit, you will spend your effort, because we call it strong 50s, you will really spend that effort to go deep dive, to innovate, to find out ways of gaining more knowledge in that space. And that eventually is going to help you not just becoming successful, but even for employers or even for businesses, they look at you as somebody who is specialized and it's somebody who can actually innovate things on the ground and help them grow their businesses. Now, that is the demarcation which you will have to create. The strong 50, what I was talking about, is not just a word, it's an effort. It's an effort, it's a commitment as to how you are spending that time. And unprecedented times are bound to happen again. You will definitely see this challenging coming up again and again. And preparing your own self with a specialized skill is very, very important. And with the current technology outset, there is more disruption which is yet to happen. However, you will have to stick and identify what and how you are going to differentiate your own self. And I'll take a few examples. If I look at Elon Musk and Tesla, right? Tesla is now a $108 billion mark as we end Jan. And the way Elon Musk is definitely one of my influencers or a role model. I keep hearing about him always. He has shifted his entire business in 16 years. And Elon Musk is somebody who has always sticked to the specialization of cars and not moving them from your fuel to battery operated to going green. There is always a bottom line that he is trying to hit is how can I give that more value for money? How can I innovate and disrupt in this particular space as opposed to the competitors, Volkswagen and Ford, they are all going behind. Now, what is the triggering point? Now, just keep thinking this difference here. The triggering point here is to specialize in an area, give it some time, and eventually see the success. So you cannot shift your gears as quickly as you can. When you specialize in a particular area, you will have to give it time, and it is going to help you. You're going to see yourself in a better placed, progressive career in the unprecedented times. So keep looking at for those opportunities and start building.
Funny, that is a great example of Elon Musk and how he changed the way we look at both the space endeavors and also on the automobile side within the 16 years that you talked about. Let us connect this to our audience using a real-time scenario, something that they can attribute to themselves. What is one thing or attribute that you look for in any candidate during a mass interview process, like be it the campus selection process for the freshers or a walk-in drive for someone who is already in the industry?
That's a good question, Sudhakar. And I personally look at how somebody is bringing in an experience, an understanding, what I typically call it as an in-depth understanding of a particular situation. So I typically look at people who can live, who can breathe, who can drink, and who can understand the item to its core. So more or less having that in-depth understanding, having the innovation mindset to be able to go and explore, and what sort of a research has been done on it in the past, and how are they able to present it. Definitely the soft skills aspect, how are they able to present it, how are they able to gather the items what they have researched and rightly present it back. These are the typical areas which I believe will keep people standing out of the crowd. And I have personally interviewed where a lot of people have the information at hand which is not uniformly processed. So unless you process the information uniformly, unless you carry out a lot of research and do a lot of in-depth analysis, you will not be confident in really talking in this specific area. And believe me, most of the interviews, the employers are not looking at what is the breadth of knowledge you can air and you can justify in that an hour or two of whatever the process you have been invited for, but they are more looking at into the depth. So that you choose a column and you be confident that I have the depth of this particular column, and if you are able to justify it with confidence with all the research that you have done, I think you have proved yourself, you are true to yourself, and you are trying to show your specialization. Everyone understands, right? Right from the organizations to the individuals, everyone understands learning is not anything difficult these days. You have a lot of avenues to learn, you have a lot of avenues to go and try. You have most of the applications are available open on the cloud, you can go and try. So it's not about if there are specific gaps where you are not confident, but if you are still specialized in a particular area, employers and organizations are willing to pursue you and take you forward. There is always a plan where we can fix those gaps. But if you are all over, you have increased your breadth, but you have not been able to justify your learning, that learning is of not particular use to anyone. And that is the point I'm trying to make here.
A very valid point, I must say, because nowadays the organizations are exploring the candidates in a very structured manner, which they are calling it as the STAR method, right? The situation, task, action, and result of the situation that you are describing, be it on the behavioral side of it or be it the technology side of it. That actually helps in getting the right input from the candidate on how the candidate behaved or performed in a given situation.
That's right, Sudhakar.
Amazing conversation, guys. I'm loving it. So, Funny, one more question. What is your motivation for being a positive influencer? Because I see you do a lot of sessions visiting academic institutions and you're surrounded by students all the time and you keep sharing a lot of knowledge. So what is one thing that drives you do this beyond your day job?
Naveen, I would rather try and answer it briefly, but one thing which keeps me motivated is the inquisitiveness of the students, the passion of trying something new and always trying to jump over the queue. There is a lot of competition around us, competitive advantage for our customers, organizations. Why would somebody choose to invest on you? It's like unless you prove why you are for what you are. I did a lot of gap analysis with my experience working with a lot of students as employees within my projects and teams. One thing which I've observed is it's not about the will, but it's about lack of direction. A lot of people have strong will to succeed, but the direction is very narrow down. And the direction is not just about learning technology. As I said, learning technology and choosing your career, you have a lot of avenues these days. But the direction is about where am I spending my time? Am I spending my time in the right way? Am I choosing a right mentor? Who actually is a mentor? Why should I choose a mentor, right? If 2 decades of experience can actually help a few lives or a few youngsters to shoot up in their career and make it even stronger, that's the energy which I carry, because it's going to help a lot of youngsters choose their passion, where they want to show their passion, choose their pathway forward, and that keeps me motivated. So the motivation is mainly to help the guys. And one message I would definitely say is build on your skills, check on your skills, and review it time and again. And at this point, what I was calling about a review it time and again is very important, because the world is changing pretty fast. If you look at a general example, solution architects or enterprise architects, earlier these are the people who are the most knowledgeable, who can build the architecture of the entire enterprise, be it cloud or be it on-prem or be it hybrid. They can go big, borrow and make things work. But organizations are still looking at how are they able to communicate their thought process with power. They aren't anymore architects without leadership skills. If you are not able to lead your thought process with confidence, then that skill is of no use. And this is exactly where I also embed into the group that I always interact with. How are you going to present yourself? How are you going to choose a skill which is your strong 50? How are you going to invest your time on your strong 50 so that you can go deep dive? And when you explore things with passion, you really get a lot of energy back yourself because you become more confident. You try new things. And when you explore, you have identified a room to innovate, and that keeps your engineer in you active, and that keeps yourself standing out of the crowd and a person who is must to have for any organization. That's how I look at it.
Amazing. There is a ton of information that can be carried away, but one thing that resonates with the TGV's mission is about bringing a positive influence on at least a few people, and so that if we can be their mentors and if we can be the guiding voice, then that itself will motivate us and do more and more and give back to the society. So thank you for the amazing answer. Now, one last question for this conversation, Funny. So what is your one piece of advice to those aspiring to make big in their careers, and specifically those who are in their young and mid-level career?
This is a very nice question, Naveen. If it is one piece of advice, I would say be true to yourself. And when I said be true to yourself, it's about you. You are not creating an impact on others unless you create an impact for your own self. And that itself will help you to explore multiple things outside and identify where you're good at, what am I going to do, who am I going to talk, how am I going to succeed. Everything else will follow as long as you're being true to yourself. And that's one piece of advice I'll give it to all the youngsters through this TGV platform.
Thank you, Funny. That summarizes your whole experience, and I'm sure the audience are going to love this overall conversation and that summary. Funny, thank you so much for joining us today. It was great to talk to you on how to differentiate yourself and stand out from the crowd.
Thank you, Sudhakar and Naveen. I have equally enjoyed this today, and I really see these sessions, guiding sessions on TGV, are going to make even more impact for our youngsters and blooming engineers who are trying to succeed in this competitive world. So thank you very much for aiding me here today, and really looking forward to connect with you and share more pieces of advice and my part in the coming weeks.
Thank you so much, Funny, for joining us and sharing wonderful insights, and thanks for your time again.
Dear listeners, to know more about our speaker and the content, refer to the show notes and visit our followers on social media. We are available on LinkedIn, Facebook, Insta, Twitter, Pinterest, and also on YouTube. Just search for The Guiding Voice and then follow, like, subscribe to us, and also share within your network. In addition, please feel free to email us at The Guiding Voice for You. That is THEGUIDING VOICE, 4 as a digit, U as a letter, at gmail.com. Or WhatsApp us on India number 9494587187. Again, it is India number 9494587187, and we will be happy to collaborate with you.
Hey, Sudhakar, now should we also talk about giving an opportunity for our audience to get aid on this episode?
Sure, Naveen. So guys, of late, we have been receiving a lot of career guidance related questions from our regular listeners through YouTube, LinkedIn comments, WhatsApp, and email. And we are responding to them on one-on-one basis. Now, we are pleased to open up a new mode of interacting with you all while providing a chance to broadcast yourself. If you have any questions related to education, career guidance, or a specific IT function, just send your voice message through speakpipe.com/theguidingvoice. We will play your question in your own voice along with the answer either from us or our expert panel in our future episodes. Hope you will utilize this wonderful opportunity.
All right, so it brings us to the trivia segment of today's episode. And today's trivia is about GPS, the Global Positioning System. And folks, do you know who all uses GPS other than the regular consumers like you and me? All right, maybe you may start thinking, but let me tell you, in addition to consumer use, GPS technology is used around the world in mining industry, aviation, agriculture, and military sectors. And one other fact about GPS is the current GPS technology is developed by the United States. However, countries like India are also building their capability in this domain. Interesting, isn't it? Thank you for listening. There is more in store, folks. Stay tuned. Have a wonderful time. Take care. Be safe. Until next time, bye-bye. So we are signing off. See you next time.